Hey guys, Tim and Adam here, and we want to welcome you back to Flipper Flix. You guys know how much Tim loves his foods, and he got to try a new one recently called 3 Wishes.
Yup. Breakfast being my favorite meal, I was excited to try this new cereal out. It's high in protein, low in sugar, and grain-free.
I thought I saw that 3 Wishes is free from wheat, dairy, soy, oats, corn, rice, and peanuts.
That's right. It's plant-based and gluten-free certified, made with modern-day clean ingredients like chickpeas, pea protein, and tapioca.
Well, that sounds like a feat of food science.
One that took 2 years to develop.
Incredible! So what flavor of these 3 Wishes did you devour, Tim? I saw they had cocoa, cinnamon, honey, and unsweetened.
I went with cocoa, and it was delicious.
With 70% less sugar and as much as 8 times the protein of their decadent counterparts, there can't be anything like this on the shelf right now.
And there isn't. 3 Wishes is now offering our listeners 10% off with the code PODCAST10.
So head to their website at www.3wishescereal.com to learn more.
We hope you enjoy this episode. Hey, I'm Tim. Welcome to Flipper Flix, where we watch the movie, record the review of the movie, and upload the podcast. Very convenient. That's a very estrue. That's not even a word that matches that, I don't think.
Estrue?
Estrue to the quote I was going
word.
for. I don't think that has anything to do with what I was trying to. I can't think of the word. It has something to do with a quote in the movie, but not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to it later.
Well, I was going to say, we'll get into it, so it all works out.
Yeah. So what's your name, sir?
I already said my name.
Did he?
I think so, yeah.
I did.
Okay, I'm Adam, and I'm here broadcasting to you folks about Flipper Flix.
Mm-hmm.
We are a movie review podcast that is set up more like a book club. We're not professionals.
True.
So we kind of roll with it, and then we spin with it, and then we're like, okay, we figured out what movie we want to watch. It's pretty chill, bruh.
Yeah, and I think every episode we ask the other one if they said their names.
We do.
Yeah, it's a pretty
we
common.
make sure to get that covered.
And if you're a Sunny fan, you might catch a few extra jokes in there.
Yeah, definitely.
But we are on social media.
Mm-hmm.
We are on Instagram and Twitter at Flipper Flix. Shout at us if you want. Talk to us. Sam is very good at messaging people back. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Tim and I watch her respond.
I lurk.
Yeah, we just sit there and be like, hey, Sam, somebody messaged us. I know, Adam. I've already responded. And I'm like, okay, cool. But you guys are here listening to us, so I'm sure you found us on some sort of podcasting platform, but we're also on Spotify, Anchor FM. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Amazon Podcasts. That's a thing now. And we release our episodes on 1 p.m. Eastern Time Zone on Thursdays. Now, Sam, what's your name? Please state your name, ma'am, and what movie we watched and why.
Sam, please state your name. Well, I'm Sam. Really buried the lead there.
Now, Sam, that's not your real name. Your real name is Samantha.
That's true, technically speaking.
Hmm.
Okay, anywho, we spun classics, not award-winning. Like, all week I was like, this is award-winning, and Adam's like, no, it's definitely not. It's classics. And when you think of classics, you think of Casablanca.
Yes,
At
you
least
do.
I do.
No, I do too.
And so that's basically why I chose it. So let me get into the synopsis here. An American saloon owner in North Africa is drawn into World War II when his lost love turns up.
And that's it. We
Yeah.
got one line.
Well, you know, as is tradition, the Google one was like a novel, and I
Yep.
was like, I'm not reading. You know, if you guys want to know more about it, look at the Wikipedia page or something.
It's only a few years old.
Yeah, it's really old. That's why it's a classic, right?
Yeah, it's like
That's
70,
like one of the
I think
stipulations.
it was 78 years.
I have no idea.
Released in
43?
1942.
42? I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's questionable, depending on where you're at in the world.
Yeah, and we watched it on HBO Max because they have all the Turner Classic Movies on there.
They do.
See, so even other people think that like it's a classic.
Yeah, like
because-
the Turners.
yeah, whoever the Turners are.
I don't know.
I've never understood that. Somebody let us know why Turner Classic Movies is Turner Classic Movies.
Yeah, is it a dude? Because, this is a Warner Brothers movie.
It is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Anyways, spoilers. We're going to dive deep into this film. And we're going to start with Sam on
Okay.
her expectations of this because she's the one who picked it, and she's been saying, I'm going to pick this movie every time. She's like, once I get classics, I'm going to pick it. And then she's like, but I really want to do Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to apologize to everyone because I basically alluded that I was going to do Dirty Dancing and then I didn't do it.
Yup.
But that's because I have never seen Casablanca, and I knew, like, a lot of the quotes were from this movie, and I don't know, it just always was like, oh, it's like a classic. Like, I feel like I don't even know that I know anyone that's seen the movie, but all of the
world.
movies say that it's a classic. So I really am just kind of wondering if Hollywood's just perpetuating this lie that this is a classic, because I didn't know anybody else to watch it. But anyway, that just came into my mind. As far as expectations, I mean, I figured it would be a little hard to sit through because I thought that it was pretty long, even though I think it was only an hour and 43 minutes. But it just felt like it would probably be long. But I was like, I'm hyped about it. Like, everybody says it's the greatest. Everybody being like, no one that I know. Yeah.
The internet and critics have always like.
So I was excited. What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, so I sat down and I was like, oh, good, it's black and white, 1943. And my first reaction was like, crap. And then my second reaction was like, no, you know what? I'm excited for this. I was like, I'm ready. I've heard good things about this.
Right.
And Sam picked it probably because it was good, whatever. And I was like,
It's
all right.
questionable when Sam picks a movie.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah, you never know.
I usually get lost in the old ones. I don't know why, and it stays true to this one.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's an era thing or whatever, but I was ready. I was like, all right, I'm going to be into this. It's going to be a good movie. Let's get it. So that was me going into it.
Yeah, and for me, I just like Sam said, everybody in the world is like, this is the movie of all time.
Yeah, like the
the
end all
greatest
be all.
movie of all time. And I'm like, okay, but what's it about? Like, I assumed it was just straight romance. I mean, like, I didn't know it was about World War II.
Yeah.
My knowledge about it comes from the Great Movie Ride,
Right.
where they're like kissing on the at the airport.
Yeah, like the end scene.
Yeah, the final scene, and that's all I knew about the movie. And like, it's in other movies. It's like it's in the new Doctor Sleep film. They use that because it's that director's favorite movie.
No.
So like,
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's everybody's in the world's apparently favorite film. I'm like, okay, so it's got to be good, but like Tim, I get lost in these movies
Yeah.
because I assume they're going to be super slow. I don't know why, but I assume anything before the 1980s. I'm going to even include the 70s because, like, The Godfather isn't the fastest paced movie in the world.
True.
Taxi Driver is not the fastest movie in the world. It's like a slow burn. Good slow burn, but a slow burn nonetheless. So that's what I expect.
Yep.
So how do we want to get in on this? Do you want to start with the opening credits and how there were two montage people?
Yes, I was so excited. First off, I didn't know that there were montage people until this movie, or if there are, they don't get credit anymore.
Yeah,
Like-
that's a thing in the past.
And then the fact that they needed two montage people, which is especially surprising considering I think there was only one montage of them in Paris.
I can only think of one, yeah.
Yeah, and so they needed
Yeah.
two people for that one?
No, I think there were two montages. We just can't remember the second one.
Maybe. But that was great. That's when I knew. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
That gave me some hope for the future.
Right. Yeah.
But they did that whole, credits thing that Tim hates where the credits go on forever.
I feel like
But it was a short list of credits, at least.
At least, but still, I was like, get it over with.
I feel like you gotta kind of like come to an understanding that if you're watching a movie before a certain year, it's gonna be an enormously
Right.
long.
And
credit
maybe
scene.
that's like a thing of like attention span these days and like immediate gratification problems. Like, I want to watch it, just get it over with, give me it. Because there's definitely like, this is going to be a way off topic, but like in video games, like you just want to get to the part where you get to play it, you get to do the fun part. And there's a lot that like it used to be where there'd be a lot of intro and cutscenes and stuff, which those are fine, but I get very like, all right, let me do this, let me be that part of that cutscene.
Tim just wants to smash stuff with a hammer.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of the same feeling, like immediate gratification, I guess, which I feel a little guilty about. I'm like, is this just because of technology and how things are nowadays? And I don't know.
I mean, like with Netflix, even if Netflix runs the credits and doesn't go to the next episode, I hear somebody squawking next to me about how is Netflix this dumb and why is it not just going to the next episode?
Yes, but then I also think that Netflix has sped up their autoplay, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, what if I wanted to go make a sandwich? Like, just give me, like, their
Now
autoplay.
it's too fast.
Yeah.
Why don't I
now
have
it's like-
commercials so I can take breaks? No.
Yeah, like.
My Hulu does. 'cause
Damn
I'm
it.
cheap.
Yes. No, I think Hulu autoplay is like 90 seconds. I think that's a good amount. That's enough time for you to, like, walk around, do
Go to the
something,
bathroom real
feel
quick.
a break. Like, Netflix is like, nope, we know you're on the couch. You're not getting up for 12 hours. Like, that's basically what they're
Yeah,
going for these days
it is.
with their rapidness. But
They're
anyway,
like, we need to keep these people pinned to their seats.
apparently.
Yeah.
So I guess my next, I don't know. I
Your
don't know
actual
that
starting
either of
point?
those were a beef point. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, this isn't really my
You have beef
starting
already.
point. But I do have beef because I'm not saying that there's not like a casino named Rick's in Morocco, but I find it highly suspect that there is.
Well, my suspect is that when we went to Morocco, they're like, you're gonna struggle to find any alcohol here.
Right.
And there are 2 bars across the street from them.
Right. And then like just the fact that it was called Rick's. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it was like Rick's Americana or something, but still,
Rick's
I was
Cafe.
like, man, I do not believe this.
I had
Yeah?
problems with that too. I was like, it's just literally Rick's, and it's the hot spot.
Yeah, like the only spot.
Like everyone goes there. Anyone goes there. Anyone who wants to do some shady shit goes there. Anyone who wants to do
Yes.
whatever for the night goes there every single night. And then apparently
Funny
Rick
you
has all
say
this
that.
sway and stuff. Like right off the
Yeah.
bat, everybody's like, gotta talk to Rick, gotta have a drink with Rick, gotta do this with Rick. I'm ahead of the Gestapo, gotta go talk to Rick. I'm like, what? I don't know. It's just so
Who is this
strange.
Rick guy? Why is he? And he's kind of like a letdown to me, at least.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like, especially knowing that like Humphrey Bogart gets like this whole big like shebang over this movie, and then like his character's Rick. You're like, oh.
Well,
At least that's how I felt.
I really want you guys to know that the original title was Everyone Comes to Rick's.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm
So
glad they pivoted.
so funny backstory on this. That in the 1980s, they brought the screenplay, like the original screenplay, to like a college, I don't know where, and they're like, okay, I want you guys to critique this and like tell us what you think of this. And they put Everyone Comes to Rick's instead of Casablanca.
Nice.
They drug it through the coals. They were like, this doesn't have enough sex in it. Like, Rick should have done this. Rick should have been, there's not enough death.
I love it.
And like, there's just not enough like action and sex in it for the 1980s, apparently.
Yeah.
And now it's currently like listed in the American Film Institute, the one who did War Horse as the best picture that year. They have it written as the greatest screenplay of all time. So it's just kind of funny that like the 80s must have been an interesting time to try
Yeah.
and make a movie.
They were really into some
Ooh.
things.
Like David Bowie's outfit.
Tight pants, yeah.
His tight pants,
Tight
Tim?
man.
That must be why they were in there for the sex appeal, I think.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Rick needed some tight pants for the 80s version.
Oh, yes. They really do, though. Like, what's funny is Rick, we're going to come back to the movie. He seems like the head of the underground.
Yeah.
He really
But
does.
Ferrari is.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because, like, I don't know, Ferrari doesn't even seem like that bad of a guy.
And he doesn't seem like he does that much, too. Like,
He just gets all the tickets.
yeah, he gets all the passports.
I also don't know why Ferrari is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Ferrari,
He's Italian.
Well, not only that, but why would Ferrari have an interest in any of this?
Because
Ferrari
he wants to make money.
No. Okay, here's a quick history thing about Ferrari. They've basically run out of money several times.
Oh, I don't think it had any relation to...
Okay, the
The
actual
car.
Ferrari? Okay.
No, yeah.
Because
this
I
has
was
nothing to
like,
do
there's
with
no
that.
way this is... I mean, it kind of looked like him. I don't know. But, like, it's just... If it was the actual Ferrari, I'm like, there's no way this is in line with real life Ferrari. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is the reason why his name is Ferrari, and then who was the other one? Ugarte? Ugarte?
Something like that, yeah.
guy.
The first guy.
Yeah.
They're both Italian because during the time this movie was made in the 1940s, they basically made anybody who was unpleasant or like who would be considered kind of a bad guy into somebody that's not an ally
Oh, okay.
in the war in World War II. So the Italians, siding with the Germans at the time, well, the Nazis, that's why they gave them Italian names.
Huh.
Yeah. It was actually it was legitimate propaganda that Warner Brothers sought out to do.
Classic.
And like this movie got pushed through directly after Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
Like it was like the movie was written and they were talking about making it, and then Warner Brothers was like, "Yep, we're doing it. And we're going to like make it some propaganda." It was weird.
Yeah, I do kind of feel like going back to like Rick being, I guess, like the head honcho of the town, but not really. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but like when Ilsa, I guess she goes to see him, so she came into his club or whatever, and then like figures out that it's his club. Which, first off, girl, like how to like
It's
it's
named
named Rick.
Yeah.
It's named Rick's.
I get it. There's a lot of Ricks in the world. That's fine. But then like when she like meets with him or whatever, and she's like, "Yeah, I just didn't know it was your club. Like I had no idea." And I'm like, "Okay, so besides the fact that it's named Rick's, like everybody knows about Rick in town."
Yeah.
And I know they kind of like just got there, but it's just hard to believe that she wouldn't have at least like gotten a little bit like suspicious that maybe it was him. I just like didn't believe that line of
I felt that she was playing dumb.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
afterwards, like it just seemed like she was playing dumb, and then, yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say.
But
about
it's
it,
not
really,
believable.
but- Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Their whole relationship almost got the movie canceled.
Really?
Yeah,
Like their
because in the
real life one?
40s, no, in the real life they had no relationship, just on set. They only
I
talked
I
on
see.
set. They got it, but it was spicy that she was married and
Yeah.
she slept with another man
Yeah.
in the 1940s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's in every single movie now. Like that is a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in the
Yeah.
40s, that almost got the whole movie kiboshed.
Yeah. That's especially funny considering like she thought her husband was dead.
Well, yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying that it's like a good idea to do it ever, but like if there was a time to do it, that would
I
be
mean,
the
yeah,
time.
he was a prisoner of war in
Yeah,
a concentration camp. Yeah, I
Yep.
think you're safe there, girl. Like,
Yeah, like,
I mean,
I don't think
Well, it was
anybody's
also
gonna...
published he was dead.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was said in the papers he died. Victor Laszlo is dead.
Also, I mean, I will say she didn't tell him,
Yeah.
but
Right.
That was sketch. Come on.
and then they end up finding Rick's, and she obviously still liked Rick, but whatever. Yeah, no, I agree. It's literally you were in a concentration camp. Like, come on, and then declared dead. Like, really, guys, we're gonna throw up arms about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's still apparently spicy in the 40s.
It was, and I was like, I wasn't there,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't know. But I had a quote from early on in the movie from Ugarte.
Okay.
I have many friends in Casablanca, and you're the only one to despise me. That is why I trust you.
Nice.
And I was like, I mean, enemy of enemy of my enemy is my friend. No.
Keep your friends
This is just
closer and your enemies closer.
yeah.
But reversed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He liked Rick. Rick just didn't like him.
Yeah.
It was just funny because I was like, damn, brutal, man.
Yeah. So Ugarte was the one that got shot.
At the
right?
beginning.
At the beginning. Okay.
He was the one, they were like, the French officer was like, by the way, we're going to have an arrest in your casino today, and it's going to be funny.
Yeah. Right. And like, here's another beef point with Rick. That like later on in the movie, there's a fist fight. I think it's over that like the girl in the sequins at the beginning.
Yes.
She like brings some guy in to make some other guy jealous. Anywho.
Rick
And Rick's
jealous.
like, I don't like disturbances in my club. And I'm like, literally the night before someone got shot and you were okay.
Yeah, you're
But
like,
a
everything's
fist fight,
good. Yeah.
that's too far. That's too far for me.
Yeah.
So Rick,
Oh, I actually wanted to come back to the fact that you were talking about how Isla was stupid to not think that it was Rick's.
right. Yeah.
Because Casablanca in World War II was actually a refugee point. Like, it was that was actual, like, historical. Like, they went there, and that was where they passed through.
Right, and she sent him off on his own.
Yep.
So, like, it's hard to believe that they obviously know that's the path. And again, like, there's a lot of Ricks in the world, so we shouldn't be so close-minded about it. But it's like, come on, girl.
Well, if you find out it's an American named Rick, you're like,
Uh-huh.
we're getting a little concerned here.
Yeah.
Victor, I don't know if we should go in.
Well, but weren't they there just to get the papers from the start?
From Ugarte.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Yeah, he
they
was
had
selling
to go
them to
in
them.
regardless.
Yeah.
But we got the French. What do you guys think of the French police officer, Louis?
I liked him.
I found him funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was entertaining. He also is
Yeah.
the one that I used the quote for the opening for.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Wait, what was the actual quote?
So I get when he goes first talks to the girl and the guy. I don't remember their names right now. You know, the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to talk to them about a drink at some point and like the bill, and he takes the bill and like, oh, you don't have to pay for it or whatever, or you have to pay for it. It's expensive. He said they put it on the bill. I tear up the bill. Very convenient. So it's
Oh,
basically-
yes.
I was like, that's amazing.
They put it on my bill. I don't care.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he wore his hat, he just had so much swag for the 40s.
He did.
Yeah,
he
he
did.
just
He
wore
was
to the
swag,
side.
Yeah.
He
And-
did not give a fuck.
No.
Yeah. Well, and he had so many good lines. Like, that one was great. And then I think he was betting with Rick over something. Probably something to
Victor
do.
Laszlo.
Yeah.
Whether or not he would make it out.
Yeah. And so Rick said, like, let's make it 20K or whatever. And he goes, let's make it 10. I'm only a corrupt official after all. And I thought that was hilarious.
I know.
Like, he just plays it straight the whole time. And I was like, nice.
At least he's honest.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly. You never doubt where he's going with anything.
No.
So I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I really who was it that went to Rick at the beginning? And he's like, oh, we knew each other from last night. Like, we talked last night. And he's like, last night is too far it's just too far away to remember. I'm like, I can feel that, Rick. Like,
Yeah.
I don't always remember what I ate.
Well, that whole
that-
line I think also goes back to like their flashback in Paris because she said something about the future's too far away to, it's too far.
Okay.
But like it is pretty clever though. I did enjoy that. I don't remember that far back, and I can't see that far forward or whatever. He
Yeah.
says like I thought that was pretty clever. I'm gonna start using stuff like that. What are you doing
Yeah.
tomorrow? I have no idea. I can't see that far ahead.
I'm not a precog,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Then we had the Germans land, and they're like, we are German, yeah?
Yeah.
And they're actually, what's interesting about the Nazis in this movie, most of the actors for those were actual German Jewish refugees
Oh, interesting.
from World War II, like that fled Nazi Germany,
Yeah.
including the main guy, Major Strasser. He was actually he was known to the Germans to do anti-Nazi like propaganda in Germany before they fled. He and his wife fled.
Interesting.
So kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Hopefully you're playing that drinking game of yes.
I was going to say, like, I thought there were a lot of clever lines. Like, obviously the main lines that, like, people know are, like, here's looking at you, kid. We'll always have Paris. Like, they basically make all the romantic ones. And then, Louis, this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. But I think that there were a lot of ones that we already talked about, but then some other ones that were just really funny and cleverly written. Like, so at the beginning when you're in Rick's club, somebody comes over and offers him a job. I don't know if it was...
It was Ferrari. He goes up to Sam and is like, Sam, why don't you come work for me?
Right, at the Blue Parrot. And
Yeah.
Sam goes, like, he basically says, like, no, and Rick's like, well, he'll pay you double. And Sam's like, well, I don't have enough time to spend what I make here.
Yeah.
And I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Like,
Just completely avoiding it all is great.
yeah.
Yeah, what's also great about that is like when Rick eventually goes to sell the bar, he's like, I just want you to know Sam makes 25% of the profits.
Yeah.
I know he only makes 10%, but he's worth it, so he'll get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Ferrari just doesn't seem that bad of a person. And I'm like,
No.
I feel like you're supposed to dislike him. And
Yeah, it seems like that way, but you just can't. I don't know.
Right.
he doesn't seem too terrible. The actor actually wanted to dress in like full like Moroccan outfittings, and they were like, we want to keep you in a white suit. Because he wanted to be like my character integrated into the culture.
Oh.
Right, that would have been cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
I think they just
what am I?
always put, like, from that time. Like, I feel like...
If you're an evil guy, you're in like this white suit.
Yeah, you gotta stand out like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would have liked to have seen him in the traditional clothing, because I think... I don't know.
It would have been funny.
Yeah.
He had the little fez cap.
Yeah, I did notice that.
They gave him that at least.
Yeah.
At least he still had the fez cap.
We'll always have the fez cap.
That's what I was going for.
I know.
But the actor, it's not him, but he reminds me of like when he first walked in, reminded me of the guy from It's a Wonderful Life. He's in a wheelchair. I'm always blanking on his name.
Yeah,
I
Potter.
don't know.
Potter. Mr. Potter. That's who he reminded me of.
Interesting.
I don't know why.
I think I don't know that Potter wears a white suit, but he's like kind of chubby and I don't know.
Bald.
He reminded
He's chubby
me of
and
that
bald.
too. Yeah.
And wears a suit. Okay. Must
Chubby,
be the same
bald,
guy.
Wears a suit. Movies in black and white. Check. Is all the same guy. Like that's how our minds work, I guess.
It definitely is.
Yeah. Well, I put another plug in for Sam. Like, thank goodness that he was there at the train station when Ilsa didn't show up, because freaking Rick was just gonna stand underneath the lamppost and get rained on for 10
And
more
be a
hours.
sobby boy.
Yeah, like Sam was the one that actually pushed him on the train and got him to go.
Sam's
Yeah.
the real MVP of this movie.
Right?
Low-key MVP.
Yeah.
I feel like all of the sub characters are the MVP of this film. Like, I'm just gonna say it. I wasn't super impressed with Ilsa or Rick.
No.
What
not
about
one bit.
Victor?
Victor was okay. I feel like he was really just there to be there. Like,
Yeah.
So that it wasn't just like this love story. It was more like complicated than that.
Yeah. Ugarde.
He was funny.
Yeah. That was like, I mean, technically speaking, he's the one who brought the letters of transit
Right.
to Rick.
Yeah.
Where'd you put those? Like, where did you hide those, man? Oh, they were the piano. Ah, the piano.
Yeah, I thought that was funny that they like searched for it and couldn't find it. But he's like, nah, I gotta know where they were because I know
must
you
know,
still
I
have
must
them.
know.
Yeah.
Apparently, Sam's piano recently sold in an auction in like
Oh,
2012
really?
for like $650,000.
Yeah.
Damn.
For like, I'm assuming it was for charity. I want to believe it was for charity, but
Probably not.
who knows?
But
It's really
maybe.
cool though. Like, it's crazy that I'm sure that piano is just like has so much history technically.
I'm sure it
because of this
does.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back to we got this history right of Rick. He like ran guns to the town like from Italy or to the Italy or something.
Yeah.
He was very anti-fascist against the Spanish wars. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, the Germans have a whole dossier on him. This fucker is 37 years old.
Yeah.
Dude looks 50 because he
Yeah.
is. I'm pretty sure he is 50.
I think he was old. Yeah.
I was like, you made him 37. He doesn't look a day past 60.
Right.
Could have done a little bit of makeup there.
Oh man.
Was I the only one that felt that
way?
way?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like, was it Laszlo or Lasso?
Laszlo.
Laszlo. I think that Laszlo looked younger.
Oh,
And,
he definitely did.
Yeah, and like,
He looked younger and
the girl.
Isla.
I mind blanked. Like, she looked a little bit old, but not as old as Bogart did. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, he was born in the 1800s.
Was this his like breakout?
This is every single character's #1 film on IMDb.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily
Really?
mean it was a breakout. Because I was curious, like, if like this was like his first film that like put him on the
think
map.
so.
Because that would kind of suck. He's kind of old, but I don't know.
I don't know.
They need
I don't
old
know.
people. It's
Right,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
I thought he was just going to straight up leave Sam, though, and I was pissed. And then
Yeah.
he struck the deal with Ferrari, and I was like, okay, at least Sam's gonna make some cash money.
Yeah, I agree. And so I guess Ilsa comes in and is like plays the song that they knew and like, and like I'm just gonna harp on her again. Like, she's like, Sam, I haven't seen you in forever.
Play my song that
Play
I
my
had a
song.
lover with.
Yeah, and I really liked that Sam was like, oh, I forgot, I don't know how to play that song. Like, he's basically like, I'm not gonna fucking do this. And of course he ends up doing it, but I still liked that he was at least trying to, once again, be the MVP and save Rick a little bit there.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
I don't really understand how they end up becoming like best friends forever. And then he's just like, bye, Felicia.
Yeah, so like, what were they doing in Paris? Like, was Rick just
I
chilling?
never understood. Like, he seems to have money and importance
Yeah.
in Paris still.
Yeah.
And they're looking for, like, police are looking for him. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get this
Was that
movie.
Yeah, was that the earlier stuff you were talking about? Like, maybe he got his reputation early on in
He
the
got his
war?
reputation way before.
So maybe he was still, like, the man of the town, but it was in Paris. So maybe
Yeah.
there's a Rick's in Paris, too.
There was.
Yeah.
And everybody comes to Rick's in Paris.
Everybody comes to Rick's. It's
Yeah.
just known. If you live in a town and there's a bar called Rick's, you're gonna go.
Are you?
Probably.
According to this movie, you are.
Now I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Rick's Cafe was one of the few sets that was actually built because there was a bit of low supplies during World War II to make movies.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah.
So yeah, Rick's Cafe. But I was like, I kind of like that it almost all took place in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, you see the streets a little bit, and then the Paris montage.
And then you get
Well, I guess the airport, too. But, you know.
and Ferraris and the police station.
Okay, fine. It doesn't all take place in Rick's, but it seems like a decent part of the setup is in Rick's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, another low-key character. Did you like Carl? Carl was the older bartender that he ran refugees with Victor. Come on, Sam.
I,
2 days.
is he the one that like takes the girl home originally or whatever?
Oh,
Yes.
the one in, like, the black suit that's
Yeah.
another old guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I did
So Carl, apparently, he's also a refugee in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's hinted that he was actually a professor beforehand, before he had to run away. Because somebody's like, "Thank you, professor."
Oh, nice.
Yep. So it's kind of cool. Like, there's like a very small detail that like I missed, but I read about it. I was like, "Cool."
Yeah. Well, I liked him because, like, he was meeting refugees or whatever that were going to America, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna do great in America," and like,
He was just
yada,
so
yada.
happy.
He was friendly, yeah. And like one of the little details was like, I don't think it was anybody specific. I think it was just a minor character that like pickpockets those tourists at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then he like hugs Carl. And then, like, you see Carl walk away and start to, like, pat himself down. To, like, he knows he's the pickpocket.
Yeah.
And he's, like, just making sure that, like, he didn't
It
get
was great.
pickpocketed. I liked that little detail. I was like, nice.
There's a lot of subtleties in the movie that you catch.
Yeah.
But I still got lost a lot.
Oh, one detail that I cracked myself up with this joke. Ilsa was talking about, "Oh yes, I remember when the Germans came to town. They were in gray and I was in a blue dress." And
Yeah.
I was in my head, I was like, "You were in a gray dress because this movie's in black and white."
Yeah.
And I'm saying this in my head to
Or
myself.
you
I'm
remember
like,
that meme that was out for a little while about is the dress gold or blue or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh no.
No. Just to me, both the dress and the Germans were wearing gray
Yeah.
because you got no colors.
Yeah.
No colors.
Do you guys really think that a conductor should be allowed to marry somebody like a ship's captain?
Oh, yes.
That was so like forced. I don't know.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny,
Yeah.
but like and I get it, like that short term like love thing. When they were obviously still in love there at the end, so it like made sense for the film. It was just kind of weird. Like he was like, "No, seriously," and she's like shying away. It's like, "All right, dude, back
Yeah.
off a little bit. Pull back, recover." Like,
Yeah.
You're
but-
sounding a little crazy
Yeah.
right now.
Right? And that being said, so if suppose they were like, "Oh yeah, conductors can do it too."
Mm.
Would pilots of planes in
That's
today's
what I was
time?
thinking. Like, all of a sudden you're like back in coach, and then the pilot comes out and
Will you take
yeah.
her hand in marriage?
And people are like, wait, who's flying the plane?
I want to fly the train.
Yeah.
Did you guys like how they were going down and the Germans were singing their national anthem or the Nazi national anthem?
Oh, yeah.
And then they come down and is it Victor that's like play Le Marseille?
Laszlo, yeah.
Yeah, Victor Laszlo does that.
Yeah.
Apparently that scene, they had Humphrey Bogart come to the set, walk down the stairs, nod, and walk down. That was all he shot for the day.
Must
And
be
he
nice.
He was like, I had no idea what that scene was going to be about.
Yeah.
But Le Marseille is an intense song. Like, if you, listen to the lyrics. Like, I'm just going to read the last part. Form your battalions, let's march, that their impure blood should water our fields. It's like basically like I'm gonna murder all these people
Yeah.
in my field, and it's gonna fertilize
It's
the shit
gonna,
out
yeah.
of it. Mind you, this was written during Napoleon's reign.
That's probably why they keep it. I mean, like, you're not going to get any more intense than that. Like,
Right?
there's no bar above that.
There isn't.
You only got to come down.
Yeah, and like at one point it's like, throw up your arms. They're gonna try and cut the throats of your sons and your comrades. And I'm like,
Holy shit.
God damn, this is an intense song.
This is dark.
I enjoyed that. Like all the people, apparently, a lot of the like actors got extremely emotional during that scene.
Yeah, I thought that was an emotional scene. Like, I didn't tear up or anything, but I was like,
You could see somebody tearing up.
yeah, if you put yourself in that
Position.
space and that time, like, I could see how at first, like, when he first starts, you're like, oh shit, but then it's like, no, everybody stands up together, and like, yeah, I mean, it's hard. It doesn't deliver as much in this movie, I think, because the main Major Strauss or whatever his name is, Strauss, is kind of like an oaf too. Like, not really an oaf, but like
he wasn't able to do much.
He's not a good bad guy, in my opinion.
No, yeah.
Yeah. He gets shot in the knee. I don't care what you say. Rick was aiming at his knee when he gets killed.
Well,
yeah.
And then the guys like roll up like immediately after. He's like, round up the usual suspects. And
I
then,
know.
Yes!
Like, hold up, who? Because Rick just shot him and he's standing right there. You would have like seen it or known something. All right, yeah.
But everybody comes to Rick's. Everybody respects Rick.
Yeah,
and it was
Rick's
the
the
French
man.
police officers, so
Yeah.
it wasn't the Germans. If it was the Germans, it was would have probably been like, pow pow, you're dead too. Ha ha.
Yeah. I think it was just another, like, funny part about the police chief's, like,
Yeah.
way he did things.
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah.
I loved Louis.
I thought for a second, like, when they were doing the whole thing and he was holding him at gunpoint, he was doing it to, like, as, like, a coup to the two trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was kind of like, Louis was in on it.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he was.
I don't think he was.
I don't think he was, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he was, like, there at the end.
Yeah.
Apparently, the way the story was written, when he, like, pours the Vichy water, at the end he throws it away, that's him basically coming to terms, like, he's done with the Germans and the Nazis. Like, he's like, that's just what it was supposed to symbolize. So I don't think he knew.
Yeah.
I don't think he did, no. But it just felt like he should have, like, with how they were acting.
Yeah. It was funny. They played it well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a couple other things. Throughout the movie, I was thinking, you know, if they ever redid this movie, like, who would I put in that role?
For Louis?
For, like, just anybody in general.
Okay.
Like, for me, like, for some weird reason, Victor Laszlo, I was like, I would put Tom Hiddleston there.
Oh, for sure.
Right? That just seems like a Victor Laszlo.
Well, he, like, they had a resemblance, I think.
Okay, so I'm not that crazy?
That is correct. At least in my opinion. Tim might disagree.
Honestly, I can't picture.
Loki.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
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 I was like, I feel like that's how I have to always bring you back to who that is.
Well, and I don't know if it's just because we watched War Horse, but, like,
yeah,
I just,
which
like,
is set in the...
Yeah, he very much, like, fit in. Like, slide him over.
Well, he also does,
True.
he's also in Midnight in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So he
he's
does
just
another-
good, so it's like...
He is.
I don't like the Loki character, but he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't knock him there. And you like, yeah, I think he would fit not only because he's good, but I don't know, he would make the character good. The same, like,
Yeah.
it's just I get it. Yeah, he has a lot of range.
What's funny is this movie has been deemed unremakeable. No studio will touch it.
I was gonna say,
Respect.
I'm kind of shocked that they haven't remade
Yeah.
it
Right?
because they've done everything else. It's crazy to me that they haven't remade it, but I'm glad. Like, come on,
They
come
tried.
up with some
Somebody
original
tried.
movies. Did they call it Everyone Goes to Rick's?
No, Madonna wanted to play
Oh
Isla.
my god,
Oh,
because
And-
that worked out so well.
I know. I thought you guys would love this. So
Oh.
Madonna went to Warner Brothers, and they're like, "Yeah, you're not. No, we're not."
That's
And
not
then
gonna work for
She
us.
like apparently like went to like multiple different studios, and they were like, "How many times do I have to say no, old man?"
Oh my god.
But
Was
she-
this pre-swept away?
Pre-swept away.
Oh.
Oh,
Now, I
thank God! Because it could have been the swept away and then, like, been remade. It'd be so terrible. But oh my goodness. Okay. Woo!
Well, That's true. We dodged the bullet there. But I was gonna say, I wonder if they almost did Swept Away to prove that she could be so great, and then she just was not.
You want to make it? You want it even better?
Yeah, I do.
She was pushing for a certain actor to play Rick.
Oh God, who?
Ashton Kutcher.
Oh my God.
I like Ashton
I
Kutcher
like it too.
and his roles.
No.
He is not Rick.
No. Oh
Like,
man.
No. Just no. I don't know who would be Rick. I can do Victor Laszlo with Tom Hiddleston. Whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But Rick, I cannot. I don't know who could do it.
I changed my mind. I want to see Madonna's version of this movie.
I want to see it
Because
currently too.
It's gonna be so great. It would be so great. I would be like, fuck it, let her do it.
Yeah.
Because I
Full
just
send.
want to pull it through the
Oh yes.
coals. Oh my God, yes. That's great.
But yeah, nobody's tried to really do it since, because it's just been like, just don't. If it's considered the greatest screenplay of all time to some people, nobody should touch that.
Right, and usually when they remake it, I mean, they definitely redo it and, like, do the same thing, but I feel like a lot of times they do still try to make changes, because otherwise people will complain, like, why did I watch the
Why
same
is it
movie?
a direct copy? I could have watched the original.
Right, exactly. So if they're not willing to tweak the screenplay to make it something different, then I think that that's fair. And going back to your original point, like, the only other actor I could see, like, updating it, like, I can't think of who else I would cast for any of the other roles.
Yeah, no, I got
Like,
nothing.
I don't have, like, main people that I think
we're just gonna put the
pull it
Avengers
off.
in. ScarJo can be Isla. Chris Evans will be Rick.
You know, ScarJo's not a terrible pick for it, because she did Jojo Rabbit, and I don't know.
Yep.
I think she has a lot more
Range than you
range.
think when you think of her now.
Yeah, not that character has a lot of range, but
Right.
Well, and she also did the movie with Adam Driver.
right, Marriage
So-
Story.
That one.
I never watched
That's
that.
intense.
Yeah, put Adam Driver in as the main person,
There you go.
Yes.
just because we just feel like
funny
it.
story about since Adam Driver is so tall, this made me think of it. Apparently, Humphrey Bogart was not that tall. He's like 5'8".
Okay.
And then Isla, the actress who plays her, is tall. So he was wearing platform shoes for like half the movie.
That's
Interesting.
funny.
But
Well, here's my thing about a remake for it. There's already been plenty of remakes because it's just a love story movie.
True.
It's literally just a love story with a little bit of war in there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We just watched one with a horse, you know, a boy loves a horse kind of thing. Kind of the same thing in my opinion, but I don't know.
which one's the horse?
uh,
No comment.
Wait. But was there a love triangle in War Horse?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
with everybody.
everybody.
The
or
grandpa.
I was gonna say the
true.
grandpa is the best example for it, but
True.
I don't know.
But literally everybody.
Beefcake
Yeah.
trying to steal him away.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have a lot of notes for this movie.
Oh yeah, I'm all done.
Yeah.
No, I didn't either. I had a lot of the quotes that I liked, but otherwise, like, I think it's kind of just a movie that you sit
And you watch.
and you experience.
And confusion. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think, kind of just going back to what Tim was saying, I don't think that there's necessarily, like, there is a plot, but it feels kind of convoluted, and I don't know if it's the pacing or if it's just, like, the olden movies. Like, I did kind of feel myself being like, man, this is, like, taking a bit.
Like, whoa.
And, like, why are we... And there's, like... And I don't know if maybe it suffered from, like, too many characters
It could
that
have
they
been.
didn't develop, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they did have a lot.
while each of their characters were, like, great in their own way and you like them in isolation, like, it kind of felt like there was a whole cast that we didn't do much with. And even, like, the backstory of, like, oh, well, we'll always have Paris. Like, it was a montage of nothingness, you know? Like,
right.
and then the train station scene. So I think there was a lot of stuff. I mean, people will probably hate me for saying this, but I think there was a lot of stuff that wasn't developed. So it's hilarious to me that it's the greatest screenplay of all time.
I also want to say that Sam is not a professional.
Yeah, I know. So
She's
roast
trying to
me.
sound professional.
Roast
but
me for my opinion.
She is not.
I'm not trying to sound professional. I'm
I know, I'm just
expressing
messing
my
with you.
opinion.
What did you guys think of the letters of transit? And that's going to be my final note.
The letters of transit,
Yeah, the ones that they had to get into a plane.
right?
Yeah, what'd you think of them? Did you think that sounded realistic?
I mean, you had to have a passport.
Letters of transit were 100% fake. Those never existed.
Yeah, but you have to have a passport nowadays, or you have to have
Those
proper
were your papers.
documentation.
Those were your papers. The letters of transit were literally just a plot device, apparently, that they did to have, like, they created it so that the French police officer, like the French leader, captain, whatever he is, just had basically control over who could leave and go, like, leave.
Yeah.
So that's literally the whole point of that. And I found it funny.
I mean, I think it's believable that they would do that.
Yeah.
Personally, but
Yeah, like I read that and I was like, oh, fooled me.
yeah, like it doesn't seem out of line that you would need extra paperwork, especially during that time, and knowing that Casablanca is like the last stop before Lisbon,
Yeah.
which is the last stop before America. Like, knowing that there would be extra red tape, like especially these days, like there's red tape everywhere for everything. So
Yep.
seems believable to me.
Yeah, I would
I know.
that for sure.
All right. So the cast. We have Rick, played by the one and the only Humphrey Bogart. Sam, you were alluding that was this his big breakout role?
Yeah, I was just curious.
What other movie do you know him in?
I don't know, nothing.
The African Queen.
Okay.
That's actually a very big movie.
Okay, I was like, am I supposed to know that? 'Cause
But
I
like I didn't see any other movies that I recognized. That's the only one. Like the Dead Reckoning and the Treasure of Sierra Madre are
Okay.
two other films that he did, but the African Queen's the only one that I like really recognize.
Okay, because I feel like, isn't it like a thing that like Humphrey Bogart was like this? He's
Yeah,
like
I think
the
it's
real
just 'cause
life Rick, not like the real life Rick, but like, you know, everybody knows who he is, or is it just he was so good in Casablanca and the African Queen?
That's it, I think.
It's crazy.
Tim, did you know who Humphrey Bogart was before this film?
No.
Okay. Maybe we just know because of Great Movie Ride.
Could be.
Isla was played by Ingrid Bergman.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the original Murder on the Orient Express.
Nice.
She plays the nun character. Stretching your mind there.
Yeah.
She was in Notorious and Gaslight as well. Victor Laszlo was played by Paul Heinried. He was in The Exorcist 2. Now Voyager in Goodbye, Mr. Chris.
Tom Hiddleston back in
Senior.
The day.
Captain Louis Renault was played by Claude Rains. He was Tim. This one will interest you. He was in The Wolfman, like the 1940s
The
Wolfman.
original.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there we go. If we need another classic, and since we all liked that guy, that could be a pick for us.
True.
He was also in Lawrence of Arabia,
Nice.
and he was the original Invisible Man.
Oh, look at him.
Cool.
Major Strasser is played by Conrad Veidt. He was in the Cabinet of Caligari. Ah,
Caligari?
Caligari.
I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
how to
just throwing
say.
shit out there.
How do you say that word, Sam?
Yeah, Caligari.
He was also in Whistling in the Dark and The Man Who Laughed.
The man who killed Don
The
Quixote.
Man Who Laughs. Sorry, my S looks like a T today. Ferrari's played by Sidney Greenstreet. Finally an easy name. He was in The Maltese Falcon. That's a big one.
Okay.
Christmas in Connecticut and Across the Pacific.
Nice.
Ugarte was played by Peter Lorre. He's in the movie M.
Nice.
That's it. Apparently that's a movie. The Maltese Falcon.
Okay.
And then 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Nice. We got
I need to
some
see
classics
that.
in
I
here.
need to see that
Yeah.
one. Carl is played by CZ Sakal. He was in Ball of Fire and Christmas in Connecticut. And then this movie is just an amazing title. Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that title. Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sam was played by Dooley Wilson. He was in the movie Knock on Any Door, Stormy Weather, and Come to the Stable. Now what's interesting about Sam, the actor that played him, was Sam didn't play piano.
Oh.
He's a drummer.
That's hilarious. I love it.
But he knew how to fake playing the piano
Mm-hmm.
during the scenes. So it looks like it when he was playing.
Nice.
And then when they closed up on on his hands, they had a stand-in.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say his voice was really good, and so I was wondering if
That
he was
is his
also
voice.
a musician on the side. Like he
Yeah.
was more known for that.
Yeah, so when I went to his page, it threw me the hell off because the first thing that showed was that he was in Doctor Sleep. And I was like, the fuck? How is he in Doctor Sleep? It's because the song came on. That song, interestingly enough, was written before this movie, so it was never allowed to be it wasn't allowed to be nominated for Best Song in the Academy Awards because it was already written before the movie.
It wasn't written for the movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
The director is Michael Curtiz. He did White Christmas,
Nice.
Dr. X. And then Tim, maybe you know this one. The Comancheros. It's a John Wayne film.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah. I don't know that it's pronounced that way, but...
Comancheros.
Not sure. I can't think of it right now, but I know what you're talking about. I can picture the word, but I can't, like...
Yeah.
I'm just going to butcher it, so...
Yeah, I'm not good I don't speak.
Comanchero.
I don't read no good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have no more notes. I can get into the ratings, and then we can flip it on.
Oh. You're going to flip it on?
Flip it on, flip it off, whatever. Whatever.
Spoiler.
I'm going to go upwards from the lowest score to the top.
Okay.
IMDb gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Nice. That's pretty high.
Google failed it with an 86%.
Google failing the end-all be-all movie.
But I want to also state that I've always got that theory that like older movies just don't do as well on Google.
Yeah.
Even though 86
I
isn't a
agree.
bad score.
People don't get it.
Yeah. The audience gave it a 95%.
Nice.
The critics with a 99%.
Nice.
Crazy. Crazy. Anyways, yeah, I would flip it on. I liked it. That's all I got to say. Tim was talking about how he couldn't follow it. I was like, oh, I followed it all right.
I understood it eventually, yeah, but anyway.
So, yeah, Tim, what would you do? Would you flip it on, flip it
No,
off?
flip it off.
Not for you?
I hated it. I literally was dreading it about halfway through, and I was like, the last 30 minutes, I kept pausing it to see how much time was left, and I was
Oh, shit.
okay, so there's 30 minutes left, so that's probably 20 minutes with 10 minutes credits. And then that 20 minutes goes by, and there's no credits. I'm like,
Yeah.
and I was
There are no
literally
credits in
standing
this
up
film.
at the last 10 minutes going, be over, just be over, just be over, this is awful, be over. And I don't understand why it's so popular. I really don't. Maybe back in the day it was really good, but nowadays I feel like there's a lot better like movies. I don't think it stands the test of time. I don't know. Maybe I don't appreciate movies enough, but or something like this. Maybe there's something I'm missing about it that makes it so good, but I really don't think it was that amazing. I don't know. So I say flip it off, go watch something else.
All right, and then let's get Sam.
So I say this a lot, but I think it's the most true for this movie where I'm firmly planted in the middle because I agree with Tim on a lot of the points. Like, I think it's kind of like the pacing's weird and like I don't really get it, but then I agree with you, Adam, because I really liked a lot of the quotes, like not just the ones that everybody knows, but like the ones that we were going through. I thought it was funny at times, but there was something about the way that it just drug on for me, and I don't know why. Because
you were dreading watching it all week.
Yeah.
It was a long week.
That and like I don't know. I think there was so much more they could have done with it, I guess, or something. I don't know. But I think that I would say to flip it on so that you experience it once, even though we always kind of say that's a cop-out response. But I do think you should watch it and form an opinion of it for yourself, since it is, like, untouchable and, like, the end-all be-all and the greatest screenplay. Like, you should watch it, form your own opinion. I just don't know that I would watch it again. And I don't know that I would stop for it if it was on TV.
I probably would, but
Yeah.
I also said I'd flip it on.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, so flip it on if you haven't seen it for sure, and then flip it on if you like funny lines, or if you always just kind of wanted to know the references around the famous lines. Flip it on if you like romances, for sure.
Well, let Sam just keep going by herself here.
I lost.
If you like airplanes, there's a couple shots of an airplane. If you're a big fan of Morocco,
yeah,
Casablanca, it is in the French part of it,
Yeah.
which all of it is French now. They all speak French there, if you ever go. Actually, they speak Arabic, but French they get taught in first grade. Fun little facts. So, yeah.
So yeah.
Tim, you're up next.
Ooh.
Let's spin this bad boy. What do you think Tim's going to get today? Not pick 3, that's gone. Oh, this is an interesting one. We got a new category, Tim.
All right, lay it on me.
Split
No.
the pod.
Okay, what is it?
Split the pod. So I totally ripped this off of Jackbox, like the Jackbox games, where it's like split the room.
Okay.
Basically, the idea is you're going to try and pick a movie that Sam, say, like one of us is going to flip it on and the other one's going to flip it off. And it's considered a successful split the pod.
So like Casablanca almost.
Like Sam would have won Split the Pod because I flipped it on and you flipped it off.
Yeah.
You follow?
No.
Okay.
I have no idea what you just said. You just said a bunch of words, and I just did not follow at all.
You just have to pick a movie that we won't all agree on.
Yeah, you basically
On
want to
whether
try
or
and
not we'll
create.
flip it on or flip it
I'm
off.
basically guessing that it's not one we've already done.
Correct.
Correct.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck? How is this any different than what? Yeah, okay. I got you now. So I basically just find a movie that I think everybody will have differing opinions on.
Yep, exactly.
Got you. I don't have one on mine, but I will figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I'm going to go look at my list right now.
So
Thanks for joining us, and you guys know what?
Don't watch this
I think
movie.
this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be the beginning of a beautiful podcast.
Adam loves to steal my lines.
Well, were you gonna say that?
I told you I was gonna say that if I had